Hey guys, AJ here back with another one for you. So we all know that these chicks treat each other like trash, right? Guys, 304s, the only thing that they can't stand more than men is each other. Hey guys, on the surface, they all might have this sisterhood, right? All this strong and independent, all the single ladies, INDEP,
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
But we all know they can't stand each other, right? So guys, we're gonna go to dumpster fire known as TikTok and see how these girls' best friends, quote unquote, treat each other. But before we do that, please like, subscribe, drop a comment, because it really helps keep this channel going. Guys, check out the playlist at the end and check out my second channel linked in the description, guys. And let's get into this.
I cut off my best friend. No, not the one you're thinking. I'm 24 years old and I've definitely had my fair share of girl friendships in my day. I had all these other people telling me that this girl was not my best friend and I was like, but she is. All you do is think of all the great things about your relationship and you totally miss the red flags. They're just showing off to you. So I want to talk about all the things that I missed and the signs that your bestie truly does not have your best interest at heart. I made a list, so let's go through it. Number 1, you're scared to tell them things. You used to be scared of getting judged, hated on, having negative commentary. But if it's truly your best friend, that should never even cross your mind. When I was younger, obviously I was a little bit blind to this, but where I am now with the friends that I have now, I know that is something that should never happen. Even if you're saying the dumbest shit ever, that should be the person that you go to talk about anything and not ever feel bad or judged by them. Doesn't mean they have to agree with you, but that just means they have to love and support you, which genuinely is not hard. 2, they find negativity in everything you do. For example, I got lip filler for the first time. I wish I could explain to you how shit I felt after that conversation. She pretty much told me if I do anything cosmetic to my face that I'm a disgusting human being and that she
Look at that, guys, look at that. Yo, chicks are mean to each other. Did you guys hear that? Oh, some friend.
Never do that to herself. Literally not even a year later, this girl got lip filler. I was like, bro. The one time I told her my family was going to London, she's like, why are you going there? Like, I'm sorry, who wouldn't want to do that? For another example, I used to like Jordans. Don't come at me, they were a phase. She would rip on me for them. Like, who do you think you are wearing those shoes? Telling me I'm not cool enough to wear them. And then after I cut her off, did I not catch her wearing those exact same shoes on her story?
There it is.
Literally went on for years and years where I would do something, she would hate on it, and then she would do it too. Like, I don't care that you're gonna do the same things as me. Just don't hate on me for it and then do it. Now, other people notice this too and they would come to me and tell me. And that's when number 3 comes in. If you have to defend her behavior to other people, especially when it involves the way that she treats you. Number 4, they talk shit about you. Now that sounds like an obvious one. However, at the time I was like, oh no, she wouldn't do that. At one point she went to my boyfriend at the time and told him that I was planning on breaking up with him. And I was, but
guys, is that not the most scandalous thing? And she says, and I was planning on breaking up with him, but you didn't have to tell him.
His friend are my friend, which leads me to my next point. They make unnecessary commentary in front of other people. For example, lip filler. This one time we were in a huge group of friends and somebody gave me a compliment on my lips. From across the room, this girl goes, oh, it's because she has lots of lip filler. Sorry, I would have told them that anyways. Like, you didn't need to shout that across the entire room for the entire world to hear. The craziest thing was this one time I was going through a very, very serious, mentee B issue. She would talk about it to people behind my back. Obviously not something I wanted people to know, but also talk about it to other people in front of me. Like, as if I wasn't there. I was like, please stop it. Anyways, somehow I got in trouble for that, but that's a whole other story. I would just sit there and take it. I don't even know which number I'm on anymore, but my next one is important.
Jesus.
They're only around when it's convenient for them and they don't make you feel safe. The convenience one is very obvious. You can definitely tell when someone's only showing up when it makes sense for them. But the making you feel safe one is a bit deeper. If that person doesn't truly feel like you're home, that's not your best friend.
You mean that women are only around when it benefits them?
Just like a woman.
You literally want to sprint to them whenever everything else in the world feels unsure. You will literally run to them. I'm telling you from experience, your best friend should be your biggest hype person, your support system. They should genuinely want nothing but the best for you. And if that's the case, jealousy will never be in the picture. It won't even cross their mind. If your relationship, it does not matter what kind, is not positively serving you in the best way possible, it is fully within your right to do what I did and cut it off. Trust me, it's way better to have no friends than have a friend who does not truly have your best interests at heart. Because I promise that negative energy is affecting you a lot more than you realize. So don't be afraid to do a little.
Does this chick honestly think that 2 chicks can have any type of relationship and there won't be jealousy involved? Lady, if you believe that,
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
and isn't it funny, guys, how they say, oh, this whole bros culture, this frat boy culture, or as they say in the UK, lad culture is so bad, because the positive friendship she's saying where there's no jealousy, you guys are there for each other, that sounds like how guys are bros, right? Guys, drop in the comment if you have that one best friend, that bro, that broski of yours. You guys are always on the same page all the time. You always got each other's backs. These chicks would know how to foster that relationship if it hit them in the head. Guys, are hashtags. Hashtag toxic friends. Hashtag ex-friend. Hashtag cut it off. Hashtag jealousy. Hashtag no jealousy. Clown world.
But what did you do? Because listen, there was one time where I thought that my best friend of 4 years stopped talking to me for no reason, but the reason was we went out and I used to do drugs and she didn't. And one night I thought it would be funny to put a pill in her drink and let her drink it, and she did not.
Yo, she roofied her own best friend. Look at that.
I find it funny, and I always thought like, oh, I did nothing, and I convinced myself that I did nothing wrong. But meanwhile, I did something wrong.
Look at that, guys. And she said at the time she didn't think she did anything wrong. And then she's telling this story in public. It's because she knows that no one's going to press charges. She knew that her friend wouldn't do anything. Imagine if that was a guy who did that to his guy friend, to a female friend. He would be toast. Look at that. Guys, are hashtags. Hashtag friendship. Hashtag advice for girls. Hashtag toxic friends. Hashtag story time. Clown world. Jesus Christ. Look at this, guys. Look at all these nose rings. This bull ring in her nose. The nose rings. The lip ring. Jesus Christ. Guys, run for the hills, dude. Run for the hills.
Hi guys, I just saw this TikTok about a girl and her grandma just died, and it was this text between her and her best friend, and her best friend was being so toxic, like disgusting behaviour. And I have a very similar story and I wanted to share it. And I know the person who this story is about is going to see this as well, because she's literally constantly looking at my profile on TikTok.
Look at that.
So,
of course.
I don't know if you know that I can see.
Isn't it funny how girls are their enemies, but they're all on each other's TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, right? Us guys, if we don't like a person, they're nowhere near us. You know what I'm saying? Look at that.
But just letting you know, I see every single time. So what happened was, in year 11, the very start of year 11, my grandpa passed away of cancer. He was my dad, pretty much. Like, my dad's never been in my life. He was. I lived with my grandpa for a couple of years. Like, he was my dad. So when he passed away, I was a wreck, to say the least. I was not okay. And the fact that I didn't want to tell my best friend that he had passed away because I knew she wasn't going to be supportive.
Look
and I knew
at
that. She
that.
didn't care. That's so toxic. Anyways, so I didn't tell her for the first couple of days because I needed to mentally prepare myself for not getting support. So when I finally told her, she was nice about it, whatever, but I could tell she didn't want to talk about it, and the conversation we had about it was like for a minute, and then it was about something else, probably about her. So yeah, and then that happened. I forgave her, as I did everything else that she ever did to me. But
knucklehead.
like a week later or so, she told me that her cat died. The cat that she'd only had like a few months.
Now, how much you want to bet, guys, that she's going to be like, okay, well, your cat died. And her friend's going to be like, you didn't support me when my cat died.
How dare you?
How much you want to bet, guys? This is what women do.
Had got hit by a car or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I understand you'd be upset about this. Like, I don't want anyone to think that, like, I was horrible to her, because I wasn't. I was there for her. I try to support her, you know, but I was also going through my own shit. I was a mess. Like, you know, I felt like I had to push my feelings aside and comfort her. That was our whole relationship.
Clown
you know,
world.
If I was sad, she was more sad. You know, it was always a competition with her. Anyways, she even got her mum to call me up and be like, well, I don't know if she got her mum or if her mum just did it, but you need to support her. Like, she's going through such a tough time. And I was thinking, like, what about me? Like, what about me? Like, I was so sick of, like, never looking out for myself and always looking out for her. Anyway, so picture day comes around, and it happened to be the same day as my grandpa's funeral.
Look at that.
And I didn't tell her that I was going and going to miss out on picture day because I was like, she's not going to care. She'll probably ignore my message. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Knucklehead.
So she sends me a message when I'm at my grandpa's funeral on Snapchat. She goes, where are you? And I said, I'm at my grandpa's funeral. Like, I'm not coming in today. And she leaves me on open for like an hour and a half. I'm running out of time. And then I was like, you know, that's it. Last straw. I put up with so much shit. So I sent her a massive paragraph saying, you're not a good friend and I don't want to be. Hi, guys.
Look at that, guys. Couldn't even be there for her during her granddad's funeral. Guys, this is what female friends do to each other. And this is especially why guys should never have female friends. But I honestly believe that women are so jealous of men's friendships because our friendships work. Guys, put in the comments, like, put a brief description of you and your best friend's friendship. Guys, I've had a best friend. My friend, we've been friends for 23 years. And we're just cool. You know what I'm saying? We probably talk about 3 or 4 times a year, right? He lives, like, in the Midwest. I live in DMV. Hey, man, what up? We talk about an hour and a half at a time. How you doing? Da 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 da. What? Like no time has ever passed, right? I have friends I've had for like 10 years. We hang out, drink beer, and just chill. But we're always like, and anytime anything does happen, hey man, you all right, dog? All right, cool, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But girls do this shit to each other. Clown world. All right, you guys. I'm gonna keep this series going, guys, because it gets worse and worse and worse. Who needs enemies when you have friends like this? All right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Check out the playlist, and I'm out of here.